Pink Ribbon Lingerie is a specialist underwear company, and we specialise in swimwear, sleepwear and lingerie for women who've had breast cancer surgery. So whether that's mastectomies, which is full removal of the breast, or lumpectomies, and that can be with or without reconstruction. 16 years ago, my mum was diagnosed with breast cancer, and at the time I was 16 years old, and I was just really happy that she had completed the surgery really well and her treatment had gone really well. I was just happy that she was alive, and I was really too young to kind of understand what the effects of having surgery is and how it can affect your self-esteem and your confidence. And when I was 20, I got pregnant, and we went shopping for nursing bras together, and it was the first thing that we'd kind of done together in terms of lingerie. I'd always bought my own lingerie before then, and I was really disappointed with what was available, so I complained about it. And she said, "Oh, you've got much more choice than what I have. The bras I have are really boring and dull and not that comfortable." And I was really surprised, but I was too busy being a young mum to kind of take notice. So I had the idea of setting up a company and basically selecting the best brands that are available and setting up the business. But at the time I did the whole business plan, and I felt I didn't have enough money, I didn't have enough experience, so I kind of put things on hold. And then 2 years ago I read The Alchemist, which is a book by Paul Coelho, and I decided, well, it's a book about putting off things in your life, and I decided that was it. And I told my manager at work that I wanted to leave, and 4 months later I resigned, and I looked into setting up the business, and that's where we are today. I basically did some market research, so I did questionnaires to women above the age of 35. My target market is 45 plus, so I basically looked at finding out lingerie habits and shopping habits of women, and found out how many bras the average woman purchases, how much they spend on lingerie, what colour bras they buy, etc. And I want the shopping experience for someone who's had breast cancer surgery to be exactly the same options and what's available. So they should be able to get lingerie that's reasonably priced, they should be able to get beautiful, pretty colours, etc. So I wanted to find out what the average person wants out of their lingerie. So I did that market research, and kind of gave me the answers to know how often a customer is going to purchase with me, etc. And then I looked at all the different brands that are out there, and did a lot of internet researching, and basically called in samples and got them product tried on women to see if they were good and fit well, etc. And it's just a lot of small little things that eventually culminated in finding the brands that I really liked, that were good to work with, and knowing what I wanted, and working out how much money I needed to spend on stock, and finding a business unit for the stock, and an office and a website company and all of those things. Basically, we've sourced the best brands that we feel there are in the UK, and we've selected the products that we think are most popular, they're best sellers, products that are really pretty and beautiful, vibrant colours. And then we've also looked at brands that aren't in the UK, that are in Europe and in America and Australia, and we've basically selected a complete range of different products across the board, and that's basically how we've got our collection. So you need to look at how often you could potentially have customers come back. Is your product a return item purchase, or is it just a one-off purchase? How much your products are going to cost, and the margin that you're going to make on those products. So basically making sure that all your expenses, so all your overheads, are lower than how much income you feel that you can forecast. You need to be really realistic at the beginning, and know that it's going to be really small and gradual, and it's not going to be a massive success overnight. But there's things that you can do to help find customers. So I use social media a lot, and I think now the way technology is improving, using Twitter and Facebook really helps send a message out straight away to potential customers, as well as going and meeting and networking is really key. Because of the background I have in buying and merchandising, I'm quite comfortable to try and negotiate. So whereas maybe some new businesses or some new people won't have that confidence, but my theory is if you don't ask, you don't get. With our suppliers, I looked at products that were either limited edition or discontinued, and I purchased those items, but I purchased quite high quantities so that we would have them in stock for quite a long period of time. But because I'd ordered quite a lot, I negotiated a better margin. So there are some products that will just be in-outs and limited, but because I've got them, it's something that to a customer, they're only going to purchase that one red bra once, so they don't have to see the same colour next year. And I got a better margin because of it. So our business has got 3 different channels. The first one is the website. The second one is a mini brochure at the moment, and then we'll do 2 brochures a year, spring, summer and autumn, winter brochure. And then the third channel is lingerie afternoons. So the website is kind of to compete with everybody and to hit a wider market worldwide. The brochure is because our target age range is 45 to 65, and some of them aren't internet savvy, and they also prefer to have a look at the products and then call you up and do a mail order, and have a conversation about the type of the product and find out if it's what they really need, because it's quite a niche area and a delicate area. They may have questions they want to ask you. And then the third part of lingerie afternoons is we go around to different cancer centres in London and the South East, and we do lingerie afternoons at the charity centres. So women will come together as a group of about 10 or 15 women, and we'll teach them how to measure themselves, because it can be different post-surgery. And a lot of women just generally don't know how to measure themselves for a bra. And once you've had an operation, you can feel really self-conscious and might not want to go to a department store and get fitted. And then also what we do is we show them the collection, and then we give them a goodie bag as well at the end of the session. In terms of cash flow, I always try to always have enough money to pay all of my outgoings for a minimum of 3 months in the start-up. And that might sound not like a lot, but you've got to have the faith that the sales are going to come in as well. So it's striving to get that balance. And if you know you've got that 3-month leeway, you can really change what you do in your business within 3 months. So for example, if there's not that much money coming in on the website, what can I do to change that? So do I use social media more? Do I spend money on Google ads or change my search engine optimization keywords? Do I advertise more? Do I do an interview with a short lead magazine or a newspaper? Or if it's still not having an impact, then do I look at my other channels and see how I can improve those, and maybe try and do another lingerie afternoon every week and get more money in that way. So it's trying to be flexible. So there's no right or wrong answer, but I think if you've got 3 months cash to pay all of your bills outstanding, you've got quite a long time to be able to make a difference to the business. You've got to be able to be willing to lose the money. If it doesn't work and you've lost the money, what can you do? It's gone, but you've also got to have faith in yourself that it's going to work. And for me, money isn't the root of happiness, or it's just paper, and that might sound quite strange to people, but I can make it again. I've got faith in myself. If this business didn't work, I'd go and find a job and I'd live and I'd survive. And you save for rainy days. Well, I suppose this is my rainy day, so spent it now and quite happy with it, really. Instead of it sitting in a bank and it wasn't really earning any interest, at least I can put it to some good use. For the first year, every single month there'll be new products introduced, and that's kind of like to grow the catalogue. And then after the year, we'll kind of look at what sells really well and what doesn't, and which areas are doing really well is what we'll push into further. And then hopefully in 2012 we want to develop an own range brand, and that will just start with probably 3 lines, and just start really, really small and see what works, and just grow it from there.